Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be taking a look at some more of these new PvP battles with Wigglytuff and Charm. And I'm telling you right now, this is something you're going to want on your team. It's not necessary, but Charm is so crazy, as you're going to be seeing in the gameplay here. We're going to get into some commentary shortly, but first, let's go over PvP Poke and where Wigglytuff lands on its new ranking with Charm. Now it's going to be at 14 with Charm, Ice Beam, and Play Rough. Now, what's going on with Charm? Now, it doesn't say this in the notes, but I feel like it's lowering the opponent's defense every time you use it. I'm not too sure, guys. Let me know in the comments what's really going on here. And then it's going to be Ice Beam and Play Rough, as we've seen there. So key matchups going up against it are going to be Vigoroth, Noctowl, Graveler, Golem, and Vespiquen. And top counters to Wigglytuff, because of the poison moves, are going to be Ivysaur, which, what did I just do? It just brought me down to there. Let's go back into here. Ivysaur, Venusaur, Fortress, Dustox, and Beedrill. Now, what I did last night out of excitement and kind of had that feeling when PvP first dropped and I spent all this Stardust on all these different Pokemon secondary moves and powering them up, is I have a shiny Scyther that I actually got from Scarlet Witch, and I evolved it, powered it up, and purchased that 75,000 secondary move on it. Really wish I did not do that. The sole purpose for that was to counter the Wigglytuff and to have a secondary move, X-Scissor, to go up against those grass-type Pokemon. There's better options. It worked, as you're going to see in these battles. Scyther does, or Scizor does put in work. Going up against Wigglytuff, the matchups were not too often, because whenever I did have that good matchup, they would switch, obviously. There wasn't any specific situation, I don't think, where it was locked in too many times against that Wigglytuff, so we could see efficiently on how well it is going to be performing up against it. But it's going to be great with Bullet Punch. I mean, it's super effective, right? Super effective. Fairy is going to be weak to Steel and Poison types, so take note of that. Those Venusaurs are going to be putting work in with that Sludge Bomb, but also take note that Wigglytuff does have Ice Beam. It does take it a minute to finally get there, but when it does, you will be able to hit that Grass-type Pokemon with super effective damage. So it's looking pretty good, guys. Let's go ahead and see what we have for all of the matchups here. So it's going to be winning 79% of the time, losing 16 and drawing 6. So we did have a Wigglytuff versus Wigglytuff just to see what would happen. We didn't coordinate this or nothing. We just both entered in with it, and we literally knocked each other out. Now, I could have hit my charge, but I was trying to hold it for the next Pokemon, and I think we were both trying to do that. So we just simply feinted each other out with charms. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the commentary here. So once this match finishes off, we'll be able to see the Wigglytuff and do that commentary. So I don't know what's going on with the whole switching still. A lot of times when you're trying to switch, you're sitting there tapping it, and then you start to lose because you're focusing on trying to switch and it's not actually letting you, in which you can switch at this point in time. Anyways, going in here with the Wigglytuff versus Wigglytuff, the Charm. And it's just, look at them just tearing into each other. I was trying to see if I can get them out and hold that energy for the next Pokemon, but unfortunately we both just fainted each other down. So now I'm going in here with the Vigoroth, and I'm telling you guys, this Charm is just, it's a must-have. You're definitely going to want to go with Wigglytuff. I mean, it's not like you need it on your team, but the Charm is so absolutely devastating to the other Pokemon that it's like, it's hard to pass it up. It went from a joke to an absolute beast right overnight. So yeah, let's check it out. And here comes my Scyther, or Scizor. That steep investment, I really didn't need to do that. I had plenty of other bug types that could handle Wigglytuff, but yeah, well, at least I have it shiny, right? It does have good, decent PvP stats, I suppose, regarding the IVs. So anyways, taking out that Noctowl with the X-Scissor there. Moving into the next match, let's see what we have going on here. So the whole new switch mechanics, how am I liking it? Well, there was no lag. If it was actually letting you switch when you're allowed to, then I would absolutely enjoy it. It's a different pace, and I don't really like it 100%, but we have to take what it is, right? It is here now, so we have to get used to it and start to adapt. So look at this matchup. Going up against the Vigoroth here, I did block that because I wanted to preserve this health on the Wigglytuff so I can eat away into the next Pokemon, because the quick moves, you can't block those. So we're going to just feint that Vigoroth all the way down. We have plenty of energy for the next Pokemon. In comes the Alolan Golem here. We're going to go with Play Rough. He does shield it up, and down it goes. It's not the best example as to how much damage the charm can do, but you're going to see throughout these matches how well it is going to be performing. So he does switch into the Vespiquen. And let me tell you this as well. With this whole new switching system, the more you're spamming your attack, the harder it is for you to be able to switch. If you stop tapping on the screen, I know it's hard to do because you're going to be sitting there vulnerable, but it seems like that is almost the best way for you to switch with this system. If you're tapping the screen, it's not registering or allowing you to register that switch. So it could just be me. Let me know in the comments below. This is fairly new. This is why we're going over this now. And get hyped for Mewtwo Day, guys. I wanted to bring you this before that came out because I know this is going to get foreshadowed once that is released, although a lot of people are extremely disappointed in its stats. But anyways, that's not about Mewtwo in this video. Let's go on here. So he is making that switch into Noctowl, and I will be bringing in my Lantern to counter that. Very nice. And I have noticed that Lantern is going to be a decent matchup up against the Wigglytuff. It's so tanky that it can take the charms a lot better than most of the Pokemon, but you're going to see a prime example coming up here. Fresh start, Wigglytuff versus Lantern right out of the gate, and the Lantern is having a bit of a struggle, although I did use a shield. If he used a shield on his end, then he probably would have survived. So they call me Jake. He will have a YouTube channel, which I watch quite often. I will have a link to his channel in the description, and I urge you to go check him out. He's a pretty skilled PvP trainer for sure, and I look forward to doing more battles with him. Unfortunately, he did not record it on his end, so you're not going to be able to see his perspective, but I'm sure going forward we will, or he will be doing that. So in comes the Wigglytuff, and we're just going to feint him down. If you're wondering, well, he still had a shield left, I don't know. Well, that's because he was expecting another charge, and Charm is so amazing that he had no opportunity to even block or use that shield towards the end. A lot of good trainers would like to say that shield towards the very end in case of an emergency, but there was no charge moves to block. Charm just came in like a beast and destroyed. So we have the Noctowl mirror match. He is going to be able to piggyback me and gain a little bit more energy towards the end here, inevitably making him get to that sky attack before me right here. So we're going to go ahead and go in with our Wigglytuff and feint him out. Gain a little bit of energy for whatever we can do with that. Let's see what he brings in. In comes the Lantern. Now here you go. We did have a little bit of health lost at this point. But as you can see, the charm is still ripping through that tanky Lantern. It's just amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that Play Rough and take him out, in which he does not use his last shield. And I'm going to be going in here with my Vigoroth. And if you're like, well, what are you doing? Vigoroth is not a good counter. I understand, but I was trying to salvage the battle at this point. I wanted my Wigglytuff to survive, seeing that I don't need to worry about the charge moves. Charm is what I'm going to be keen on looking at here. And so we're just going to body slam this Vespiquen down as much as we can. In comes our Wigglytuff, and it's not enough. He has his X's ready to go, and he's going to be taking that win there. Moving on to the next match, I do believe this is the Lantern Wigglytuff start. Yep, there we go. So you're going to get a prime example. So in order for me to win this, I have to use a shield, right? Otherwise, Charm is still going to be ripping into that Lantern quite significantly. As you can see here, it's just so nasty. I love it. I love it. Wigglytuff is amazing. Now I just need to get myself a shiny one. Yeah, okay. All right, so in comes the Vigoroth, and look, so we took the Lantern down. We did use a shield at this point, and we were able to get Vigoroth half health with Charm, which is absolutely amazing. So in comes our Vespiquen, and we're just going to be bug biting away here. I do make a switch into Venusaur, and if you're thinking, well, what kind of a switch is that? This is not a position you want to be in. Absolutely not. But I was trying to salvage the battle yet again at this point, and hoping that I can get off a sludge bomb. He wouldn't block it, in which he didn't. So looking okay, but he does still have 2 shields, and now I'm using my last one here, and the fight's not looking too hot for me at this point. But we did want to go in here with the Wigglytuff and test it out in every battle as much as we can. I haven't gone over complete team compositions with it, so I was just kind of throwing things together to see what it can do. So this is going to be a pretty close match here, getting off another X-Scissor, but he's able to get to that Body Slam and take me out and take that win there. So there you have it, trainers. I just wanted to bring you this and show you how good Wigglytuff is going to be. If you're wondering and curious, should you invest in one of these? Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. I think you should definitely go ahead and go for it. We do have this normal typing, which is very unique for the Silph Arena, but that's alright because Wigglytuff is also going to be part Fairy, which is making it pretty good. It's able to resist those counters that Vigoroth is putting out. At least it's going to be neutralized. It's not going to just completely be resisted because it is going to also be part normal type. So Wigglytuff is an absolute beast. Charm, Ice Beam, Play Rough is looking really good. Charm is just absolutely destroying people in PvP right now, and it's not the only one that can learn this. So just wanted to show you this, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will be catching you all later with a little bit of charm. Take care.